much.
Okay. So hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Full Throttle Talks. Today, we have a lovely couple who has been riding together for several decades, and I wanted to talk to them mostly because we have our better halves who are currently leashing us from riding, but if they become a partner in crime with us, the life will be much better and more awesome. This is what I've learned by seeing them together on all our rides for the past couple of years. I've known them. They've been very regular. They enjoy. Ma'am is our official photographer. So the freedom I see when they ride together, the chemistry I see is amazing, and this is what I want to show to all our spouses and wives that riding is fun, biking is fun. Just saddle behind your husbands, or in fact learn to ride and become one of us as soon as possible because it's an inspiring story. So welcome, thank you so much, Pratik sir and Monica ma'am. Monica ma'am is literally a ma'am. She has been a teacher as well. She has been schooling us and a lot of more people. So let's start, Sarji. So how did it begin? Like, how did you even have to convince ma'am to saddle behind you, or it just like naturally happened?
I think it was more natural, and we got married, and luckily, I went on a course after marriage. I had my bike that time. It was ESD 350, and it used to be like every Saturday, Sunday we are out towards. We were in Bangalore that time, and we used to move to Mysore, Ooty, and wherever we could go. So it started off from there, and I think she has been on all the roadside workshops also along with me. So it was a journey where I think both of us enjoyed, be it rain, be it sunshine. We were just moving around. We never stopped.
So when you saw him for the first time on a bike, what was your reaction?
No, I just felt safe. That's it. That day to this day, when I go pillion with him, there is not one doubt in my head that I am putting myself into some kind of a compromised place or a place of danger or anything. I feel very secure, very safe when I sit behind, when I ride behind him. So from that day to this day, that has not changed. I
So
wouldn't say the same for riding behind, pillion behind anybody else. I've never done that, one. And two, there's something in my head that instinctively tells me that no, I cannot trust anybody else taking me pillion.
So before marriage also, there was a round of bikes which I used to take to her place from Noida. I used to go right till Jalgakala. I did it on my SD 350. My brother had a Yamaha 350 that time. So every bike I used to go to their place, and I think we used to have a ride of that bike also.
So it was like छोटे छोटे राइड से टेस्ट राइड करते करते and you started going on long road trips as well then.
Yeah, a short courtship period on different bikes.
So what was your first like big trip?
I think it was from Bangalore to Mysore, and she kept on saying that we should not get accommodation anywhere in the hotel in Mysore. So it almost became true until in the middle of the night we just got hold of an auto guy and said, "Okay, where can we bunk?" So we bunked over there. The next day we were just wearing a pair of clothes, nothing extra being carried. Next day she says, "Okay, it's a holiday, let's go to Ooty."
अरे वाह.
And so from Bangalore to Mysore and to Ooty, we just pushed off. And in between, we got drenched totally.
Yeah.
There was rain. And when we reached Ooty, it was pretty chilly. And I think we just managed. We just tried our clothes, and that's it, because we had nothing with us.
Yeah, and those were the days of not even having much of gear to wear sometimes. So like we would, especially the pillion would probably be wearing, I had very long hair, so I always had to kind of wrap them about in a big scarf or something, somehow just so that my hair doesn't fly in all directions. And you would just simply be wearing perhaps another jacket, a denim, sometimes not even that, just a full-sleeved shirt or a t-shirt. That's about it. Those were the days of barely any riding gear. You wouldn't even see bikers, who would step out over the weekends or whatever, wearing gear and actually going riding. So while he would have his helmet, I would be sitting with just a headscarf. And he
No,
would
no
do
helmet also.
nothing, because back in those days,
It
helmet
wasn't.
wasn't compulsory. And somehow the Pillion were never wearing helmets. It never really
Yeah, it
sunk
was-
in.
it's
The
a
thought
recent
never,
rule.
yeah, it's a recent thing. So it never really sunk in then, that this could be a problem if there was a problem. So those were the days, and now when we think about it in retrospect, it's like how foolish were we, that we could go on such kind of trips and just not wear any kind of riding gear. So those were the days, yeah. But then the place that we finally bunked at in Ooty was such a lovely experience. But of course, we couldn't step out, like he mentioned. We didn't have
Right.
extra clothes, so we just switched on the heaters in the room and we just dried ourselves. And then the next day we came back to Bangalore.
Okay. So, how has the couple riding, has it made any impact on your children? Have they started riding? Do they enjoy riding?
Uh, Children are not so much into riding. Son is more bothered about his hair, so he won't like to wear a helmet. So if that was permitted, he would ride a bike. And I think the daughter is obviously, she used to go pillion till such time she had a bang. And after that, she's ridden one or two times with me, but generally discontinued. And she now, last year she thought that she learned riding. So she did join a riding school, bought her own bike, but that bike has not done too many kilometers. So she's still moving around in the colony only.
Okay. So, as a rider, what do you keep in mind when when I say that you need to take care of a pillion? So, what are the things you keep in mind?
See, there are a couple of things. Firstly, while riding, you cannot be rash. So there is a difference between being rash and riding fast. So taking the surrounding conditions into keeping those in mind, so you can ride fast, but if there are too many things on the road, you don't try and ride fast at that point of time. So that is one factor which you have to keep in mind. Second is you need to advise your pillion from time to time, or maybe initially once or twice you tell, and then the pillion adjusts itself herself. So you need to tell them that while you are on the bend, don't shift. Those are the factors which are there. Second, then is the pillion should also have riding gear. Now you realize it actually. So
And if I can add to this, the occasional tap that I get on my leg, when we are riding.
What does that
the
mean?
The occasional tap is his way of checking if I have gone off to sleep. So if a reaction is not coming to him the moment he taps me on my leg, he thinks I may have dozed off.
That's a very good sign, by
Yeah.
the way.
So that
if
is-
if
yes.
your passenger, even when you're driving, or the person
Yeah.
behind you is sleeping while you're riding or driving, it means they trust you a lot.
Yes, but I don't doze off, nothing like that. But he has this habit that if I have been quiet for too long, or if I haven't shifted for too long or whatever, so he will tap me on my leg once, like lightly on my leg, and just to check. So I just simply have to maybe then tap him back on his back or something, tell him that all is good. I'm awake.
Okay, so coming to you, ma'am, how to be a good pillion?
How to be a good pillion? Okay.
Like the pointers that he has taught you, and like what you
Yeah,
generally
the same
do.
as like on the bends, that you're not shifting yourself, and getting uneasy on the bends. It's a lot to do with, of course, the technique of the person who's actually really riding the bike. So you have to adapt to that. I think I have adapted to his pretty well. So he knows that no matter what kind of a bend he's taking, he is not going to face any problems because of me shifting in a different way, which would probably cause some kind of disbalance. So that is something that he's taught me over years. So that now comes to me instinctively. My body language on the bike is how the rider would get accustomed to, shifting with his bike. It has become accustomed to his way of riding. So I think it's basically on the bends where I need to be more watchful.
Tilt your head.
Yeah, so tilting my head and all of that. So that is what I take care of when I'm sitting behind him as a pillion. And
DJs, music,
most of the times I have I switch on to music when we go for longer rides, but I switch on to my music only when the road is kind of uninterrupted, meaning like we have
long stretches,
an expressway or a wide happier uncongested highway or something. But when I find that there are places of challenge, where he must be, he's circumventing traffic and other elements. So that is when I normally switch off the music, because at that point in time, I am just about as alert as he is, looking in the rear view mirrors, the mirrors on the side, constantly looking at the traffic behind us, what is coming from in front of us. I pride myself over being a good navigator, because back in the days of no GPS, I was the one who would watch all the landmarks along our way so very well that if you were coming back the same way, you would not lose your way. I would tell you which way to go. Because I would have seen a billboard, I would have seen a building.
These are all things we don't.
She does all the
I would have
navigation
seen. I would have seen school. I would have seen a board, a name, something, and that would remain in my head. So if you were coming back the same way, you wouldn't have to ask another.
The
person.
marker is there. You are the one identifying the marker.
So when we have tricky places to navigate through as a pillion, I switch off my music and I'm with him at that point in time. He keeps talking to you guys. I am paying attention to where. So like so many times in between, it is me who with probably a tap on whichever side of his, wherever we have a gap. So let's say it's on the left, there would be a tap on his left shoulder, lightly, telling him that we can shift to the left and we can go ahead if there is enough space. Because he's not able to see beyond a point. I can always shift my weight a little bit and lean outwards and see if there is way for us to pass through. So those are the kind of things that I do with him. And just between us, we have very simple, uncomplicated gestures between us. When I want him to stop, I just tap him twice on his shoulder that he needs to stop. So these were from times when there were no way to communicate through your helmets and the various gizmos and gadgets you now have. So these were things that have become sort of a habit with me. They've stayed. I still prefer this to speaking over whatever the system that you put into the helmets, the mesh thing. I prefer this to that. And he knows the moment if I just tap twice, he knows that there is something that maybe it's just a water break. Maybe I just need to stretch my legs, but he'll stop at the side of the road, and this is what we do. So as a pillion, I think there just has to be a lot of faith in who you are riding with. That's one. And two, you need to have some gestures between yourselves which are understood as this for that and not mixing them up.
From what I hear so far, this chemistry has kind of become a necessity.
Yeah.
Because the benefits that you're showing, like I would be very, very happy if someone could, give me those markers when I'm driving.
Yeah.
These are very necessary markers that someone can bring.
Because sometimes it gets, even longer rides, I feel even the ones who are riding their bikes and if they're riding them solo, it gets a little lonely on the bike as well. The very long stretches. There's another person's presence behind you, anybody who's going pillion with you, there's a little bit of an interaction while you're sitting on the bike. I mean, I think would take you a few extra miles.
Ma'am, डांटती कितना है आपको?
Nothing.
अच्छा आप तो you're used to hand signs, you're not connected. डांट से बच जाते.
गुस्सा नहीं पड़ता.
Not for the bike, कभी भी. For the bike, he's never scolded. No. For the bike, he's never scolded.
She just says that गाली मत दो.
One is that I don't like whether it's the car or the bike. The moment you sit down, if you have to say something to somebody, by all means, please roll down the window or remove your helmet. Usko bolo. Why should my ears take it all in? That's one. And two, kabhi jo mere ko a few times that I feel a little when we go for the longer rides. There are times when I feel he's going a little too easy. I am the one who's wanting him to speed up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, taste up. the पीछे से हाथ ऐसे होता है. Then at that
Basically,
point in
that's
time,
you giving him a tap on the
yes,
leg
yes.
to wake him up.
No,
Chalo.
that tap to him comes in the middle of his back, you know,
Yeah.
like that. Okay, now you need to.
आप horn बजा रहे हो, pom pom.
Yeah, pump up.
But I never sleep while driving.
You can't.
No, I can't. No, I don't feel
We
sleepy.
would be up a tree or
No,
somewhere.
not whether it's a car or it's a bike, irrespective.
Yeah, and he
I
can,
never sleep.
and he can do that for
No,
hours.
I know you.
I can do it for hours. I can
Hours.
drive continuously 24 hours without sleep.
Without sleep.
We have done 1500 kilometers also in a day.
In a day, we've done 1500 in a day.
Morning to evening, and that's okay.
Let's talk about the bikes you've changed. How did you impact his decision towards buying those bikes?
Yeah, everywhere she's been around with me when I bought a bike, except for the first one. When we got married, the SD 350, which was there, we sold that. I bought a Charisma ZMR. Again, the bike was looking good, so we bought that. Then we went in to buy a Enfield Interceptor 650.
How long did you keep that bike?
The ZMR I had for good about 4-5 years, and the Interceptor was just about 3 years. But I realized, the Interceptor was quite uncomfortable when, especially on the long rides.
For
Because
you
of my
or
height.
for ma'am?
No, for me. Because of my height, and then we decided to change. So I was going in for a Triumph 660. So we went there, and well, after that, what happened, you can tell.
Ah,
I just wanted to see the pillion comfort. So I told him I will sit on whichever the bike that you're buying because I need to be comfortable too. So I think the only consideration behind buying this particular bike was the seat, the width of the seat. I am extremely comfortable, and then later he got
With
me
the
that
back
cushion.
box and
yes,
cushion,
and the
yeah.
back box that became almost like it's like a throne. I'm sitting on a throne and moving.
consideration. So you
So
said it's about
I just
the.
needed a wider berth to sit on, so I found the seat to be really, really comfortable.
Ah.
So we kind of convinced him into buying this
Tiger.
particular bike. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
all bikes did you check out then this time?
Oh, we went to the BMW.
Yeah, we went to
Yeah.
BMW. We
There was a lot
checked
of-
Versus and the Triumph.
At that point in time, I think this is the only bike that appealed to us for all kinds of reasons. For me, the wider berth, and
But height of the bike
height
and
of the bike.
the comfort of the legs. And I think I wanted test rides, and the guy drove all the way to Noida. He gave me a 660 and a 900 trial.
Yeah.
He came to Noida. He gave me the trial. So I think that
The
clicked.
experience was good.
That experience was good. So it clicked.
Okay. Now, when we talk about going on trips, who does the planning and who does the packing?
You do the planning, Sunny does the planning, Karan does the planning. We just join in happily, always.
And before
And
us, how would you decide where do you want to go?
See, before you
I think
guys,
we used to just decide, okay, where can we go?
between if we were going solo, we would, solo meaning, but just,
Just the
a
two of
couple,
us.
just the two of us, we would just head off in any direction. But there was a time when we were riding with a couple of our army friends
Yeah.
earlier. That wasn't so extensive in planning really, because we would find a place to stay, normally the officers' messes and such kind of places. So 4-5 of us would get together and we would just drive in some direction, probably go to Kasauli or some other place or
The
something.
long weekend aaya or chaldi
Chale.
hai?
We used to just
Jaipur or
overnight.
some place. No, not overnight, maybe 2 nights or
Yeah,
something
maybe
like
2
that.
nights.
But then the regular biking kind of trips with the larger group and everything taken care of, has started off with Get Set Throttle. That's for sure.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do some rapid fire.
Yeah.
Okay. First bike ride together.
That was Mysore.
What's your favorite bike?
The current one, Tiger 850.
Intercoms or hand signs? I think I know the
Hand
answer.
signs.
Road trip you do again.
The one to
Kaza, Jispa, Kaza,
Yeah.
and that area.
just Pakaz.
Who's the DJ?
Me.
What's the most scenic route you've ever taken?
Same. Kaza.
Worst weather you have ever faced?
It was thrilling when we rode from Bangalore to
Ooty.
Ooty. It was thrilling because we just kept getting drenched.
Who's better with directions?
Me,
Who takes all the photos?
me,
Who's always taking photos?
me.
Who does the packing?
We do our
We have
Apna.
Yeah,
different
we do
boxes on this thing,
Yeah.
so,
So we
separate
do,
boxes.
We don't do each other's packing. He does his packing. I do
I
mine.
just open
Who
the
eats up more space while packing? Things you always carry, no matter what.
In the current scenario, chargers. Chargers.
There's permanently,
And,
the rain capes and chargers and I think a tire repair kit is always there on the bike.
Yeah.
So no matter what.
Favorite post-ride meal?
Coffee to start.
Coffee.
No meal.
No meals. Small
Camp.
bites and coffee.
Campfire or hotels?
Campfire.
Campfire.
Longest ride without a break?
That
Bike.
Longest
On
ride
a bike.
without a break
On a bike.
yeah.
Kaza.
Kaza.
Kaza, we stopped almost nowhere. And it was a 210 kilometers of off-roading.
Just
It was amazing. Just amazing.
There's no place to stop anyway.
There's no place to stop. There's just sheds who are selling some coffee, tea, or whatever.
I think we
you
just
go
stopped
to.
one place and
But we had to make up in good time to the other side. So about a
that
210.
was one, and also the water level in the causeways used to go up.
Okay.
Whatever the water crossings were there. So the water level would go up if you don't cross beyond, before 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. So
The glacial melts, those
Glacial
were the problems, but that was the best, most thrilling ride I have ever had.
A secret nickname for Pratik sir?
Pratik,
Secret nickname for ma'am?
It's Mona. We call by names straight.
One annoying habit about each other. You first. बहुत प्यार है.
नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. His being a perfectionist is a lot of problem in the house. Yeah. So that
Most annoying habit of ma'am if you dare to.
Go on बोल सकते हो. बोल दो.
I don't think there's anything much apart from what she keeps reading. So when I tell her to go, she says, "Let me finish."
Describe each other in one word. Ma'am first.
One word. Trustworthy.
I would say
Describe ma'am.
amazing personality.
One word.
One
Amazing.
word.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What bike are you going to gift me for my birthday this year?
For you, I'm going to gift you a model of whichever bike you like.
Done, I'll let you know. Thank
Yes.
you. All right. So let's talk about more about your most memorable trip.
Most memorable trip on the bike, apart from the one that he's already spoken about, the one to Mysore and Ooty, that was right at the start, soon after we got married. After that, there were several rides in between, so that was just every weekend kind of drive. But I think the best ride we've had this far, best kind of ride we've had this far, is the one to Kaza. That was a hugely planned ride. Every little detail was taken care of. But the kind of challenges I think even he must have faced as a rider is not something he'd done prior to that. So
And it was my first long ride on the Tiger,
yeah.
and I've just driven about 1,000 kilometers, and I was off on the road with that, and I was not very well aware of
Couple of
the
things
challenges on the water crossing, big boulders.
You didn't have any experience
No,
of
I had
doing
no
it.
experience.
You just did it
So I learnt it over this thing.
with a Pillion.
Yeah,
With
pillion.
the pillion.
So I was the only one with a pillion, with a heavier bike. The others were all
With a heavier
on Himalayan.
bike.
It's-
2 times heavier bike.
They were
our stuff
all
and
on
the pillion.
Himalayans, otherwise the people accompanying us. So obviously I was slightly behind. But then I made myself comfortable while riding. Rather than trying to cope up
Rush
with
up,
them, I
yeah.
said, okay, you go ahead, I am following.
But that was one circuit which was which challenged every faculty inside of you, you know. There is this thing of, you know, that you slip or you fall and you go right down into the valley, you know. And it's all dusty, it's all sandy, it's slippery, there are no roads, there was sheep to navigate through, sudden, you know, then there are these glacial melts. It was so amazing, Sanjay, that, I mean, to this day, it gives me goosebumps, you know, that one, those 200 whatever kilometers that we did, how did we manage to do it? And we did it, I think, fantastically.
Pretty well.
Yeah, everybody else on the Himalayas and everybody wanting to be all sporty and things like that had several falls through the, you know, ride. But Pratik and I, we just had one slip.
Fall.
Not
One
even
slip,
a
I
fall.
would not say a
It
fall.
wasn't
I think
even
you
a fall.
tactically jumped off as well, right?
No. We, because I kept telling him that maybe I
was
should
in the
get
water
down
body
because
itself,
it was
it was
very
very
rapid.
slow, actually.
It was very rapid. So I told him, should I get down? So he said, no, you keep sitting. I'll be able to ride it
I
through.
think we hit a boulder or
So
something.
there was a huge round boulder, so the tire slipped, and I slid into the water. I didn't really technically fall, so he just let go of the bike gently. That's his presence of mind. And I had my right ankle under the rear tire.
Oh,
Yeah, so I just sat still there for a while everybody else, you know, obviously everybody halted, and then everybody came quickly to raise the bike and get me out and things like that. But apart from that one fall,
I think
the rest
Nothing
of
happened to your
nothing,
leg?
Nothing happened to me. That is when that is when I realized how important it is to be wearing the right kind of boots as well.
boots as well, yes.
So he kept on telling me before we were going for this ride that you should have proper boots, and somehow they are so ugly and they make you feel like some extraterrestrial creature. So I told him, no, I'm not buying anything. So I just wore my usual Columbia, mid ankles. So I just wore those and I went. And that one instance.
Made you
And now,
realize.
if you ask me to even go to Jaywar, I'll be wearing the ugliest fuck boots. But yeah, that one instance taught me that things could have gone badly wrong on that day. You know, if it was a nastier fall, I could have sprained or broken my.
Yes, it's a very heavy bike.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So that was a lesson learned. But apart from that, it was a lovely, lovely ride. You know, I don't know, and I really think I've been telling him that he should go for one of these training sessions that you guys sometimes
It's
ask.
happening on
Yeah.
20th.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So he must. He also needs to get.
You should also do it.
I should also do
You
it.
should
but
now start riding as well with
I
us.
should.
Yeah, we are now planning.
You'll finally get your own intercom,
the
your own helmet,
the
and
second
you'll be part
bike
of
we
the
are
program.
this next bike, like we are planning to sell what my daughter bought.
Mm-hmm.
Might buy a slightly lighter bike so that
we can start
learning
riding.
and she can also start riding now.
It's a plan. They don't want me to ride. They know that if they teach me
No, it's
or they tell me how to ride it
She'll be
properly,
off.
I'll be off.
She's been driving a scooty and all that.
Yeah, but then that's
She's
where
been
they
off.
stop me. Yeah.
Like she's been off in Jammu. She was like every day, whatever time of the day, night, whatever. She used to be off on that scooty.
So probably.
Ma'am's more of a biker than us, I believe. Then.
I'm more of a biker because I prefer the riding on a bike, going every place, than sitting in a car. Cars for me are very boring.
Claustrophobic.
Very, very. It gets so boring that now when we go for car rides or holiday vacations, riding in the sitting in the car, I keep telling him, "तुम बहुत धीरे नहीं चला रहे, कब पहुँचेंगे? बाइक से आए होते तो
Tapping
कब
the
के
back.
पहुँच गए होते,
कब से पहुंचे हो?
Tapping the
हाँ,
back.
हाँ, कब के पहुँच गए होते, ऐसे खड़े हैं वहाँ पे लोगों के साथ ट्रैफिक में ऐसे बेवकूफ़ जैसे, बाइक से कब के निकल गए होते।
So, what's that one message to our wives you'd like to give so that they can become a partner in the crime?
I think it is probably अरे हमारे भी तो बच्चे हुए थे पर तुम लोग तो आते ही नहीं, मैं क्या बोलूँ यहाँ पे। I think all of you are in that stage of life wherein maybe your kids are way too young, so you probably have nobody to look after the kid. Obviously you can't be 3 people going on the bike. So that's one of the reasons that the wives are staying put. But then you should look for every possible window and encourage them to be with you. And trust building, मुझे नहीं समझ में आता how you would
नहीं,
do
मेरे को
it.
I think I have cracked the trust building part. See, I'll tell you what happened. Whenever I bought the street triple, when I bought the street triple, right,
made us sit.
I was very excited to, come ride, come ride. The moment she sat behind me, what I did was ride as fast as possible, so I probably did not make her comfortable.
That is
That's
what
probably a mistake that I have done,
Yeah.
and I think, like ma'am said, no, making your partner comfortable is a
Exactly.
very key thing.
Starting
to
right,
begin with.
yeah, because where I come from a very conventional, I wouldn't say orthodox, but an all girls home, where these kind of toys weren't there, bikes and stuff were taboo kind, you don't even think of riding scooters, scooters, no bikes, no such things. So it's Pratik who brought these elements into my life. But then from the day one of me sitting behind him, I don't think he's had a problem with me sitting as a pillion. He corrected me on my posture once or twice right at the start. But since then, so that trust building is very important for your wives to be wanting to. They should be wanting to sit behind you, not forced to be sitting behind you. So that comes with a lot of patience and a lot of what you say to them, how you say to them, and how you eventually take them out for these rides.
But then there's one more factor, I think, that is the position in which they sit. If you are sitting straight, it's more comfortable for them. And if they are literally leaning on
Yeah.
you while sitting on the bike or trying
It's
to
not.
balance themselves, that is where they feel uncomfortable.
Probably it's to do with the kind of bikes
Bikes we
people
have,
will
yes,
have,
that's also
That
It's
you
to do
have
with the kind
to
of bike.
see
Like
and do it.
sunny kind of a bike cannot have a pillion.
The same goes for my
Yeah,
bike as well.
For your bike as well. So obviously anybody would be uncomfortable unless you have another bike which makes the pillion
More
feel
comfortable.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a key factor when you guys decided to
Because
buy
it
a bike,
looks
right?
a lot glamorous when you see these photo shoots of couples, on bikes wherein somebody is actually lying across the fuel tank and then the the pillion is literally popping up, and sitting straight like that with hair which is flying in air. It's just for a photo shoot. It looks glamorous because it's a well thought of shot for a picture. But on the road, it doesn't look nice, and it's definitely not comfortable. So I think the kind of bike.
So
Also.
that makes a lot of difference.
He sits straight. I sit. I think I don't even slouch when I sit.
I don't
sit
like
You have a
straight.
backrest.
I have a backrest, but I have a postural. What do you say?
You keep your back straight.
Yeah. So I
Even
keep
when
my-
you're resting it on
even
the-
when I'm resting, I don't slouch.
Even
So,
in the
yeah.
car, our seats both the seats are straight.
Very upright.
I think slouching is a problem because of our IT jobs.
Probably.
I fully
think,
know
I
that.
think we grew most part of our lives. We grew up without the IT
Yes.
invading
Yeah, that's
our
right.
lifestyles. So I think that's a couple of things. Yes, postural also. The same I think applies to your partners as well. You're all part of the same generation. So like probably it's to do with the back and the overall comfort, the postural things that may be causing some kind of a inconvenience or discomfort is why they don't want to come. Maybe that. And from a woman's standpoint, I really feel that especially after you are a mother, it's important if you want to enjoy rides such as this with your partner. Has to be some trust on how you keep yourself fit, which means your own the strength in your back, your joints, your knees. All of that needs to, because we have a lot of friends we were riding along with,
Yeah.
and now their partners have eased out. I am the only one remaining in our army circle too, who's still going riding with him. Otherwise, one or the other person is either having knee issues or having lower back issues. So for the longer run, everybody needs to work at
Yes.
fitness.
Fitness is a key,
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
Even for us,
Yes,
when you're
for
riding,
riders
it's a
as
key.
well.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
Totally.
So, let's go ahead and conclude this. What are your plans for the next few years? Planning any upgrade? Planning a big trip? Would you like to say something to motivate
Yeah, wanting.
people?
Go ahead, tell what trips are planned.
Trips, any opportunity to go out somewhere. So I
Chupte hi
think,
bhagna
don't think too much about it
Yes.
and just go for the ride wherever feasible. And obviously, well, the climatic conditions do play a role, but then we have done it in the middle of the summers also. Ride early, and if you're into the hills or something in the early part of the day, I think it's good.
नहीं नहीं हमें बहुत सारी rides करनी है. Usually हमारे best whatever special days we try and plan something to do with the bike. But इस बार ही तो हम बाहर जा रहे हैं.
We are going in May, right?
Yeah. So otherwise we would have planned a ride on the bike.
We would have planned a ride.
Yeah.
No, we won't. I'll do the planning. You've given me the task. We'll do it. We'll be regular about it.
I want to go to Nepal. I want him to take the bike and go pillion with him to Bhutan.
We talked about Nepal. I think
yes,
that's something
I want to ride
should.
from here up till Goa and give it a time frame as well. ऐसा नहीं है कि चले ही जा रहे हैं. But then so those kind of things. I'm going to keep pushing him. He has many miles to do with me on the bike. Before we can think of an upgrade, we are thinking of an upgrade, but let's see.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank
it
you.
was really a pleasure having you. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.